Hello, I'm Lucas Delvo. I'm 21 years old and I'm making six figures. You can too. But I wasn't always like that. Just a couple years ago, I was lost, didn't have a plan, didn't have a path, didn't have skills, didn't have money, had none of that. But I was able to find it. And that's what I want to talk about with you today, is how to find the path without it being pre-paved for you. It's not a highway, it's a dirt road type of thing. But yeah, so that's really what I want to talk about, is finding the path. But with that, the part I'm going to go on today is my experience at college, which is actually kind of clickbait because of the title, but fuck it, I'm going to do what I want to do. So that's how we're rolling. And I didn't go for the whole 4 years, I went for one semester. So that's what I'm going to come over today, is how I went from that one semester to knowing that wasn't for me and I needed a solution. So that's kind of what we're going to go into. And I've tried to record this bitch like 5 times. So I'm just going to roll. If I stutter, if I pause for a second to think, that's what's going to happen. But we're hitting this now. Good to go. So for me, the year I graduated high school was 2020. So it was like prime vid. We didn't get graduation, none of that. And we didn't get, or I shouldn't say that. So you had a lot of time to think at home about the plan you were going to go on. And for me, COVID's like, I got time to think alone. And I didn't want to do shit. Like, not do nothing. I didn't want to do nothing with my life, if that makes sense. I want to do something that matters. In college, didn't seem like it mattered. But being 18 years old, it's like, what are you going to do? Everyone points to, like the school system, it tells me, go to college. If you're a good kid, you go to college. You're a good person, you go to college. You do that. You follow the lit up highway. That's the path. But for me, so I went. I remember talking to my mom. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know why I'm going. I hated fucking paying the money. I was like, that was the biggest thought in my head, is like, I'm going to go in thousands of dollars of debt to do something I'm not going to use. And that just didn't work for me. But still, I went for one semester. I went up in northern Minnesota. I went to a little college up there. But so I didn't have the most ideal experience as well. I gave it a shot. I gave it like a month. So I guess that's a shot. But my roommate went to the same high school as me. And it was like, we're complete opposites. He stays up from like all night. So But so he stays up all night playing video games. I'm up at 5 a.m. working out, and I'm in bed by 9:30. So it was like we were on opposite sleep schedules. It was just kind of bang, bang, boom. Which was interesting, actually, because it pretty much like living alone. Besides, I had to put my headphones on when he was awake all night. But other than that, it was pretty cool. But that's not the main point I was touching on. So when I was at college, I applied myself the first month. Like, I actively tried to learn. I tried to participate, tried to do things. And it just never felt right. I felt like I was wasting my time, my money, my energy. I didn't feel like that was a place I should be that would benefit me in the long run. So I remember about a month in, I was like, because I would go out there, I'd shoot my bow every day. I'd go in the middle of the field alone, like that was like meditation. Just go rip the bow out in the field. It was a good time. Got everyone going. And I used to do that every day. And one day it was just like, fuck. Felt like I was the only person in the world. I was broke down in the middle of that cornfield. I remember that. I was like, I'm all alone out here. No one's coming to save you. But in that moment, at about 30 minutes, we were just like, what the fuck am I doing here? I don't like what I'm doing. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my money. I'm wasting my energy. In my opinion, that's how I felt. That was my personal experience. And it was just that realization. It was like, I had two options. I could follow that path, the one that's laid out, the one that everyone gets, kind of the one that everyone's teaching you to get. It's the known path. It's college, you work a job, 9 to 5, and you get by. Fuck that. Because I had that choice to make, and the second option was to figure out it yourself. Figure out a way to get out of the system, to build your own life, to be free, to take control. And that makes me think of one thing is when the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of change, that's when change occurs. And for me, that was the moment. It was like, I'm not fucking living like this. I was like, I'm going to find a way to get out. I'm going to find a way to get in charge of my life. Because I was not going to fucking do that. It was just so clear. But it was a decision. And that's what I really want to hit on. Because if you want something to change, you're going to have to make it change. It's not going to change by accident. It's very intentional. Very intentional. It's not accidental. I was actively looking for an opportunity. I was actually looking to get out. And that brings me, because I'll give you an example. The first thing I did after I broke down that cornfield, I went back to my dorm room, got on my computer, and I Googled what to do if you're not going to college. Simple question, but I really wanted to know. I didn't have a fucking idea, but I was going to figure it out. F-I-O, figure it out. That's all there is, really, to life. You got to figure it out. So when I went back there and made that decision, I was like, all right, I'm not going to be here. What can I do? And I had to think on that. But so this is my thought process on that. I don't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to be in charge of my time. I wanted to have control of my life because I felt so not in control there. Like I mentioned going to the gym at 5 a.m. The reason I went that early is because, like I said, this is prime COVID. You had to wear a mask in the gym. I don't like that. I'm very civil disobedient, would you say? I'll touch on that more another day, but I would go in 5 a.m. just so no one was there so I could do my stuff without wearing one. And people would come across the whole gym 100 feet when I'm alone to tell me to put one on, and I would fight that. I don't like following all the rules. Like, I challenge shit. A lot of you won't like this, but some of you will. And that's who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to the winners, the leaders, the hustlers, the grinders. That's who I'm looking to talk to on this. This is not for everybody, so if I'm not for you, click off. But with that being said, I was actively looking to get better, to get out. I would do whatever it takes. And that starts with physical. So like I said, at college is probably actually the most disciplined I've been in my life. I would get up in the morning, gym, and then I'd run 6 miles. I wouldn't do that every day. I'd run 6 miles 3 days a week. And then I hit the gym every day in the morning. And that was just so, because after you work out that hard, you don't give a fuck. Like, I didn't give a fuck the rest of the day at classes. I just went through it, but as I was thinking of a way out. But during that, you keep your mind right. You keep your mentality crisp if you're pushing yourself that hard. And I knew if I was going to get out, if I was going to figure a way out, it would not be easy. It was going to be hard as fuck. So I had to keep my mind right. I had to keep my mentality pretty fucked up because I was going to fucking kill. I was going to come. Like, I'm going to win. And I would do what it takes. But, so, back to figuring out the way out. The first thing I thought was, all right, so what am I going to do? A business. Like, that's the obvious answer. Like, you don't want to work for someone else, you create your own business. Obvious. Yeah, everyone gets that. But I was like, all right, what do I know about business? Fucking nothing. So the next thing I thought was, my friend's dad, he had a pool. And I remember him complaining about there was no good pool cleaners in our area. And I was like, that's a business. I can be a pool cleaner. Because I wasn't planning on fully dropping out yet. My plan was just to make something work, have some sort of plan to get out. Because it's not going to be immediate, I understood that. But I was going to figure out a way to get out. So what I did was, I reached out to him. I asked my buddy, I was like, hey, can I get your dad's number? And I reached out to him, and I was like, I remember you talking about there's no good pool cleaners. What were they doing wrong in that aspect? Because I was like, I'm going to do a pool cleaning business. If I know what they're doing wrong, I can do something right. That was just kind of the thought process there. And then he ended up, because he owned a small business himself. So he ended up asking like, what the fuck are you doing? And he ended up offering me a job, working there, learning a skill, which is appliance repair, fixing appliances up, which is a viable option at the time. It's a trade. You don't need school. You work hard, you learn a skill, you learn to work with tools. It's a good aspect thing. But bigger than anything, it was a way out. It was a path. It was a path to go down, to clear it up, to clear up the mind, to figure something out. That was an option. And the more I think about that to this day, that was the most successful person I knew at that time, was his dad. He owned a business, he did like some real estate. He had things going on. And that's the people you want to talk to. Think about who you know. Who that you know is the most successful, has the most going on. And then reach out to them and ask, what are you doing? Simple. Or just offer them some help, see how you can be of assistance, because they want to help you. Because the biggest thing is you got to be around the right people. People are everything. Your network is your net worth. You say that as many times as you need. But if you're around the right people, around the right attitude, you'll find the right opportunity. You just got to take advantage of it. So at that time, that was the most successful person I knew. So that's the direction I went in. I have a whole other, I kept moving up that. But with this one, I just wanted to kind of keep it short, get my first podcast episode, if you can call it that, out there. But that's kind of the idea with this, is so this is the lesson throughout this that I wanted to kind of get across. You have to actively, intentionally look for an opportunity. You have to be hunting for an opportunity. Nothing great happens by accident. Nothing good happens by accident. It has to be purposeful. If you're going to get fucking anywhere, it has to be purposeful. And that was one of the biggest lessons out of that, is intentionality. It was like, all right, I don't want to be here. What am I going to do about it? And that's the question you should ask yourself if you're not in that spot. Because right now I'm talking to all the like young men, young hustlers, young people who are trying to get better, who are looking to have freedom over their life, have control of their own destiny. Because that's all you can ask for. Personal responsibility. You got to be an individual. You got to do what you want to do. You got to be the right person. But that always starts with you and it ends with you at the end of the day. But other than that, you guys are leaders, hustlers, winners, and grinders. That's who we are. That's what we do. So I'm going to check out. If you need anything, you can DM me on Instagram, Lucas Delvo _02.